Joining us now on Blitz is Benji Harrison, fourth-year head coach of the Habersham Raiders. Coach Harrison, I know you're thrilled to be able to start the season here in a few weeks. Talk about the excitement going on right now within the locker room.
Yeah, I mean, this time is always a fun time. A lot of people are eager. The community's eager. Our players are eager. The coaches are eager to get started. So as a coach, this is always the easiest time to get the kids ready to go because they're excited about starting this season here in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Talk about the summer work y'all have put in. I'm sure you guys have worked on a lot of different areas, but does this summer feel any different in terms of it just seems like it's been more intense, I think?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's probably more. It seems to me that summers get a little bit harder every year. What we ask our kids to do probably gets a little bit more every year. So it's been a grind. Our kids have responded well. I don't think people realize how much time every high school that does this puts in a lot of work over the summer, and it's a huge time commitment, and it gets to this point in the summer where the kids they're ready to start playing, and so are we.
Yeah. I imagine too that there has to be some sentiment for you on this senior group because this is your fourth year, so the first cycle of guys that you've had 4 years in the program. Would that be true to say that this is a little bit of a special senior group for you?
Yeah, it is. This is the first group I've had, like you said, for 4 years, and you've had longer to build relationships with those guys. So it is. We build. We always said every year that we want to build this team around our seniors. And make this year as special as we can for those guys. Remind them each day of how fast it goes by. Don't just check the boxes as we've done that. Let's move on to the next thing, but truly enjoy each day because it flies by, and there's something special about that senior year. And as coaches, we just want to do everything we can to make that year as special as we can for them.
And you have this unique situation where you do have to replace a lot of key pieces on offense this year, but very fortunate to pick up Trey Luttrell from coming over from Gainesville, and also his dad being on staff too helps a lot too. But what does Trey bring to the table? AJ, some big shoes to fill there, and even before him, Cole Wilbanks. So third quarterback for you in 4 years, but what does Trey bring to the table that might be a little bit different than we've seen the last few years?
I think you can tell he's a coach's son. You can tell that he's got a lot of grit about him. I think his dad's done a good job with him. He hears ball all the time. He's got a lot of grit. A tough kid, and because he's been around us long, I think he's ahead of some guys just as a leader. He truly sees what it takes to be successful, and I think he tries to bring that mindset each day to the rest of the team.
Yeah. And this offense, 35, 36 points a game last year, second best in school history. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it is what they say. But I imagine, you've had to retool a little bit. Luckily, Trey steps into that spot at quarterback. Donovan more than capable to take over the catches that Jim Barnett got last year. Running back situation is a little bit different, but what can we expect to see maybe different, or is it mostly the same this year on offense?
Every year I think you tweak it to your strengths, what guys do well. Obviously Trey's skill set is a little bit different, than AJ's. What they do, both of them have a unique skill set. So you've got to fit what fits that guy. And so there'll be a few things we do that Trey does really well. But for the most part, you're right. We are what we are. Yeah. We feel like we've had success doing it, but we've got to, try to get better. There was opportunities last year. We were pretty explosive offensively last year, but there was opportunities we had to put the game away, and we didn't do that. So it's finding ways to improve in those areas, and then just getting better at what we do.
Yeah, and no secret, the Achilles heel last year, really the defense. Some great talent you had and great individuals, just for some reason it didn't gel together the way you'd want it to. Because as you scored 35 points a game, you gave up 36 points per game. So what emphasis have we seen on the defense, and what's going to look different this year?
I think the big thing we've done is Coach Luttrell's done a great job with our defense. He's brought a great mindset to our defense. I think the big thing is staying simple. I think that's the thing that Coach Luttrell really believes in is, and I don't know if simple is the right word, but being just really fundamentally sound in what we do. Don't try to get too fancy and outcoach ourselves a little bit. Just really make sure our kids have a great understanding of what we're asking them to do. And then the big thing is, we've tackled. All summer long we've tried to put an emphasis on tackling, just because we didn't tackle well enough last year. So be fundamentally sound, know what your role is, know what your job is on each snap, and hopefully if we do that, we'll execute better and be able to play better defense.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, in no way was the defense last year bad in any way as individuals, because the previous year they allowed 21 points per game. Just one of those seasons where things didn't line up that well. But for you, do you have a particular game or two in mind that you kind of have scheduled? I know you're take it one game at a time approach and take care of what has to happen today, and the rest will take care of itself. But is there maybe a game or two you kind of have in the back of your mind?
I don't know. I mean, obviously there's some names on that schedule that are really big for our community and big for our kids. And obviously, as a coach, those weeks are easier than the rest to get your kids motivated to play. I don't know. I mean, you start out the year, we've got a new opponent in Dawson who's had really 2-3 good years in a row, and they're going to really test us early. Obviously, everybody wants to talk about, Game 4 Stevens. That's a big one because we're right next door and been playing each other a long time. So obviously, our kids and community gets excited about that one. They're all important. We want to get off to a good start. And then, playing the first region game is going to be huge. You need to start out well in the region. So I don't know. Probably not the answer you was looking for, but we're excited. We're excited about starting. We're excited about playing Dawson County in Game 1 and putting all of our attention here now. Now that kind of the summer is winding down, we'll start really putting a lot of our attention towards what they do.
Yeah. We're excited. We're going to be here also that first week against Dawson, so you can catch our highlights here on Blitz. But, Coach, really appreciate it. Thanks again for your time, and really I'm just pumped up. I know it's the easiest time of the year to get pumped up, but I'm ready for these lights to come on Friday nights.
Yeah, we're excited. We're
Thanks,
ready to
Coach.
Ready to go. Thank you.